Mr. Speaker, it will take phenomenal strength, sacrifice, understanding, and hard work to build a prosperous Jamaican family.
And to assist in the process, the Prime Minister announced some new policies for the National Housing Trust NHT so that more Jamaicans will be able to own a house.
Effective the 1st of September 2012, contributors who qualify for loans at 3% will now only repay 1%. Contributors who qualify for loans at 5% will now pay only 3%.
Hotel workers earning $10,000 or less per week will get a 1% interest rate reduction below the normal rate if they apply for an NHT mortgage in the next 3 years. Public sector workers have also received an extension to their lifeline. Their 1% interest rate reduction will now expire in March 2015.
The NHT will introduce a new mortgage partner policy aimed at more affluent contributors, Mr. Speaker.
This policy will allow affluent NHT contributors who choose not to access their NHT benefits to pass on those benefits to lower income contributors. The government will also be giving suitable housing lands to the NHT to add to its land bank.
Honorable members of this House, we really turn up the thing now.
3 new housing developments are scheduled to come on stream: Longville Park Phase 3 in Clarendon, Perth 1 in Manchester, and Crichton Hall in St. Thomas. The Land Administration and Management Program LAMP will also be re-engineered so that more Jamaicans will be able to get their land titles. Having provided close to 6,000 jobs, the Jamaica Emergency Employment Program JEEP will move into second gear with a budgeted $6 billion.
We are combining state resources with private investment to achieve economic growth, to improving living conditions, and to train and employ workers.
It's against this background that the government will be collaborating with Food for the Poor over the next 5 years to provide 1,200 housing units across the island. Projects will also come from the Ministries of Agriculture, Labour and Social Security, Housing, HEART NTA, the National Works Agency, and the NHT. NHT contributors earning between $5,000 and $7,000 per week will be eligible for starter units. The National Housing Trust will also contribute $10 million to JEEP by training and certifying young people in NHT schemes.
Youth in NHT schemes, including those in inner cities, will benefit from this training program. It will seek to facilitate greater impact of sweat equity in home construction. I think, as I make this presentation today of the children of Jamaica, it is their sparkling eyes and pure hearts that give me energy and motivation.
And the Prime Minister pledged to go after those who would hurt them. But as a first step, parents and guardians were urged to watch over the little ones.
You want to tell me you have a 9-year-old child, a 7 or a 5, and not even 2-3 times a week you don't bathe them, you don't examine them, you don't see that they're all right, that if you need to take them to the doctor, you take them to the doctor. Come on, we need to get it right for our children. We recognize that we have to quickly translate concepts into real investments projects.
As such, several mega projects will be coming on stream. The north-south leg of Highway 2000, modernizing the Kingston Container Terminal, and developing a new container terminal on the lands at Fort Augusta.
The land will be used for the expansion of the Kingston Container Terminal and will be twinned with the planned establishment of a free zone facility on lands at Camanas.
The government is also committed to creating a safer and more secure society. Work will continue on the national security policy, and the security forces will be working on dismantling the criminal gangs. At the same time, the Prime Minister disclosed that the administration would review the national minimum wage with a view to increasing the current $4,500 figure. and the rights of persons with disabilities will also be safeguarded through the passage of the National Disabilities Act. In the 2012-2013 fiscal year, the administration will be pushing to secure alternative energy sources to satisfy the country's energy needs. As such, the pursuit of liquefied natural gas (LNG) continues.
We are awaiting the outcome of the bids and any subsequent negotiations for the provision of necessary infrastructure and the supply of the LNG.
While those talks continue, the goal is to reduce government's electricity bill by 30% this year. A pilot project will begin at the office of the Prime Minister. On the cultural side of things, the government will be establishing a national commission on the cultural and creative industries. Sports was not to be left out. Plans are on the horizon to establish a sports museum and a sport and wellness center.
And to re-establish the National Sports Council.
In this or 50th year of independence, a $205 million scholarship program funded by the Petrocaribe Fund will be launched. 50 students, 20 GSAT, 20 undergraduate and 10 postgraduate pursuing certain areas of study will benefit. Aspects of Jamaica's history will also be preserved, as the Prime Minister announced that the headquarters of the Jamaica Defense Force will remain at Up Park Camp. $1.6 billion has been allocated to rebuild the soldiers' barracks. And as the promotion of Brand Jamaica continues, the Prime Minister called for the core values of honesty and integrity to permeate the society, unified in the pursuit of prosperity.
We are faced with many choices, but we have only one option. We must band together to build a better Jamaica.